everyone, good evening. I'm coming to you live from my car, so I hope you can see me. Today's topic is all about overwhelm. So I know that one firsthand, so I'm hoping I can kind of guide you guys and give you a bit of insight on how to deal with overwhelm. So overwhelm can kind of, I guess, come about in different ways, and a lot of the time in workplace bullying, we do get overwhelmed because the situation is quite unbearable and we can't actually feel like there's a way out. So that's where overwhelm tends to set in, and it actually builds. So I don't know whether any of you have experienced situations where they're negative, but they go on for quite a long time. And instead of, I guess, our bodies being able to rest, recuperate, and kind of process things in our dreams, we actually don't really get the rest that we need, and our brains just continue stressing and overworking, and that's where the overwhelm kind of sets in. And I guess an extended period of overwhelm or stress can negatively impact us from multiple angles, and we've kind of touched on that in a couple of other videos. But overwhelm is where, and for me, it's a headache that doesn't go away, and it's not because I haven't done something like drunk enough water. Sometimes that may be the case because I'm so overwhelmed that I've forgotten to drink some water today, but it's also because my brain is just going and going and going, and it's trying to find, and our brains are that way, they just try and find solutions to fix our problems so that we're okay, so that we feel good. And unfortunately, in those situations that are ongoing, or ones that where our brains just can't quite find a solution for us, we actually get into overwhelm, and that overwhelm can turn into various different things like stress, depression, and other things like that. So overwhelm is really important to make sure that we are actually finding, maybe not a solution, but maybe just looking at a path or finding a new way to look at our situation. And that's where you can't really get out of overwhelm generally by yourself, unless the situation kind of takes a turn or something happens that breaks the cycle. You actually need to kind of get an outsider perspective or outside support where they can actually help you and kind of put that snap change in place for you, or even just change your perspective by giving you some suggestions or some options of what could you do, or what else, what other ways could you look at the situation. I know I've personally been really frustrated by a situation, and then someone literally comes in and says one sentence, and then I'm like, oh my god, I didn't look at it that way, or I never thought of it. And that kind of changed the whole way I looked at the situation. And then from that conversation, I found my solution. So it doesn't have to be that someone's going to come in and save the day or give you the solution that's going to work for you. I find that people giving you suggestions, as long as you take them in a constructive way, you don't have to do exactly what someone else says, because they're not you and they don't know your situation. But you can take their, I guess, suggestions and ideas and actually mull them over and let your brain kind of think of that and potentially have a bit of a positive boost in your brain. And that generally is enough to kind of jog yourself out of overwhelm and for your brain to kind of look at it in a different way and find a solution to the situation that you're in. So I know that when I sit in overwhelm for a couple of days, I need to break out of my norm, or I might need to maybe go and have an exercise, go to Pilates class, or go for a walk, or maybe play with my dogs, and just to break, not that I don't do these things normally, but it's just something that breaks me out of sitting there and stressing or trying to work something out and find a solution. Sometimes it's better to leave the problem and walk away, and the solution kind of finds you. So I hope that helps you with overwhelm. I know that I've implemented quite a few of these and they do work for me, and overwhelm is something that kind of just finds you in different situations. So it's not going, you can't cure overwhelm forever. It's going to keep happening, especially if you are trying to achieve and do lots in your life. So bear that in mind. But that's a couple of tips and tricks to I guess combat some overwhelm and kind of get you out of that state so that you can keep achieving and keep doing what you want to do in life and enjoy your life. But that's all for me for now. So have a great night, and I will chat to you again soon. Thanks.